Hi, this is David Marsh with Emini tradingstrategies.com. This is our weekly video update for April 5th through April 9th, 2010. Well, the Dow went over 11,000 briefly just before the close on Friday. That was pretty big news. You'll probably see that on CNN or CNBC. I'm sure they'll be talking about that. The markets definitely have been moving up, but we got a lot of low volume. Volatility is very low. Okay, next week probably see a lot of action. We got a lot of earnings, and we've got a market that I believe is overbought. So I believe if we see some earnings that are not as expected, we may see a bit of a sell-off. The good news really though is that for day traders it really doesn't matter. As long as we have action, we can trade. And even with the low volume of the week, we had a great week. So let's go ahead and start with Monday. Let me show you this first chart second. Here we are, we at the opening bell, we're in no zone. Well, one of my favorite trades is taking an EET coming out of no zone, because we know the NSC, here's the NSC signal, is a high probability winner. Okay, so if you can take the EET early, that's early entry technique, can make a great trade. So the EET trade signals long, loses 3 ticks, comes right down to the stop loss and takes off. We got the next NSC trade, recovered, made our profit. Still had a quick day, just had one loser. In fact, we only had one in one day. Okay, so let's move on to Tuesday, FOMC day. FOMC days, you expect a little bit of choppiness, lower volume. Okay, we had a loser on the first NSC. We had a great reversal trade. Okay, we ended up going long. We take our stop loss up after we start hitting profit, came back down, stopped us out. Hey, is what it is. Then we had another losing trade, waited until after FOMC, and sure enough, we're coming out of no zone. First trade out of no zone, boom, beautiful recovery trade. So excellent day on Tuesday. A little bit longer, you end up taking a break after the, during that lunchtime wait for FOMC, and then got right back in the game. So Wednesday, really slow action. Had a 2-tick stop loss here, followed by a full recovery profit right here. And if you need a little extra more, you had an extra trade right there. That was on Wednesday. Good quick day. Thursday, pretty much the same thing, with the exception that, look at this, we're coming out of no zone. Okay, normally a great trade, that first NSC, right? It's a higher probability trade, but not every trade wins. All right, that's fact of life. So take a small loser here, full recovery, another nice NSC, another nice NSC. So even with the low volume, we're getting some really decent swings, because keep in mind, we trade off of tick charts. We're trading off of micro charts, so we're taking the micro trend. So, and then finally Friday, today, coming out of no zone, first NSC, boom, beautiful winner. So it was really a good week. Friday was the only one and done day, which is a rarity. Normally we have 3, sometimes 4. Every now and then we get 5, and every now and then we get 1. But all in all, it was a great week. We made a profit every day. Great week. So thanks for watching a daily video. If you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.